If you play Arma Reforger on console in 2025, you're basically forced to choose one server, then download 20 gigabytes, wait in a queue for 7 hours, and hope it doesn't crash. So I went out of my way to build a server that fixes that. Let's get into it. For the last billion hours of my life, I've been trying to build a good console server that can serve PC players as well. Because if you want to start a good server in Arma Reforger, you have to start with stability. Now stability is step one. That means a proper server. That means a bacon server. Not Nitrado, not cheap hosting. No, bacon isn't paying me to do this. I'm actually paying him. And of course, it's not 128 players yet, because yeah, I'm paying for this out of my own pocket, alright? I'm not pretending otherwise. Smaller map usage, no AI units, and the server will reset every single round, so nothing degrades over time. In this server, I'm also going to put a hard cap on the vehicle count. You're going to get cars that spawn that are placed by me and not a vehicle depot that just keeps printing them forever from a single wooden box. And each team gets one armored vehicle near their spawn. That's it. That's stability. Now once we have that stability locked in, I think the next thing you need is fast access. That means fast access in the server browser, fast access while joining that server, and once you're in the server, fast access to action. So we start with a name that actually works. I'm not a big vehicle fan, so I wouldn't go mechanized, but let's say we make a motorized division. Let's use a number that's easy to remember, and let's put some flavor into it. Ah, perfect. The 69th Motorized Dingus Division. So just search the number 69 in the server browser, and there you go, it pops right up. No scavenger hunt, no what number of server did you join. No, you click join, and here we go. Instead of having to download 7 different core mods that stop you dead in your tracks for 2.5 days of downloading, the entire server is 4 gigabytes. Yes, believe it or not, a modern trench warfare server, 4 gigabytes. That's almost instant on console. And so you join the server and immediately you get fast access to different loadouts. No sitting in spawn staring at a box for 20 minutes tinkering with your gear. No saving loadouts that then get wiped because the 1.6 update broke everything again. No, you get fast access to a loadout, you spawn in, and then you get fast access to a vehicle, which then results in getting fast access to the fight. Now I can already hear people typing in the comments saying,
but TJ, but I don't like this pre-made class and I want a different red dot on there.
Maybe you want different guns, maybe you want different equipment, and I agree. And that brings us to the next part. Gameplay. Now don't get your panties in a bunch. The server uses modern gear and weapons, alright? It's no Cold War stuff. It's that classic Ukraine versus Russia. But the customization of your class is tied directly to the game mode and your progression inside of the round. The mode I'm talking about is Frontline Scavenge, and the name is pretty self-explanatory, but I'll try and explain it quickly. We all know the game mode capture and hold. Alright, now let's slap a loot system on there. Alright, thanks. We're done. We did it. We're all good now. Apart from that, random airdropped containers with different types of loot are scattered over the map. Dead bodies can be looted for military gear. Helicopter crash sites are going to contain some higher tier military equipment, but you start with a basic setup. On the way to an objective, you might find one of those containers and then you loot. You make it to the objectives, you fight, and you survive to hopefully gear up enough to survive the next fight. What this does is it forces movement, it forces looting, and it will force teamwork because everything you can find, you can trade with your teammates who might need it right now. And the best part, if I didn't explain any of this to you and you would hop in the server right now, you'd probably figure it out in like 10 minutes. Because you need zero knowledge to play this. You don't need to watch 17 different tutorials, go to university and take night schooling for 7 years to see what's happening like you do with some conflict servers. You hop in, pick a class, grab a car, and you go to an objective, you loot on the way, and hopefully survive long enough for your teammates to reinforce you when they inevitably bite the dust. So yeah, you can invite your little cousin Ricky. You don't need to explain anything to him, and you can just send him on his way. If you look at the map right now, the map configuration that I have set up only uses about 25% of the full custom map. And in this quarter of the map, we already have a destroyed residential rubble zone, 2 large trench networks in the middle, and an industrial zone. Now over time, I could increase player slots, I could expand north, I could span out into the other residential area, the other farmland area, and a massive space in the middle to build a lot more trenches. To keep things fair, I kept the map kind of symmetrical, and I want to keep that experience symmetrical wherever possible. Your spawns have a large protection bubble. Don't worry, it's invisible. You're not inside of a red dome and spawn. But once you leave it, you have 10 seconds before it cools down. Now this might seem like a lot of time, but this means that you cannot get spawn camped. Driving away from your spawn for 10 seconds means you can kind of break out of spawn, hit the town or hit the industrial site, and immediately take a position that helps break up that spawn camp. Like I said earlier, each team gets 1 armored vehicle. They can't really just be stolen unless the enemy is completely dominating the map. And if that happens, you can simply spawn as the RPG guy and go to town on that APC. So with all that said, the game mode is pretty easy to follow, and for the server, I'm gonna set up some rules that are fair. Basic stuff, right? No team killing, no racism, etc, etc. And those rules are gonna be enforced by an active admin, not some power-tripping neckbeard, not pointing any fingers, you know, but it is what it is. Just a normal dude. Maybe even me. Rounds are gonna last a maximum of 90 minutes unless one team dominates and hits the score limit first. And again, zero knowledge is required for new players. But despite that, teamwork will be forced naturally through the loadouts and scavenging. Did you find 2 rockets for the RPG but you're not carrying one? Just grab them. Maybe your buddy has an RPG and you could use those. Did you find some ammo for a gun that you're not using? Grab it, because if you're not grabbing it, then possibly the enemy is grabbing it, and we really don't want that. So you find something your buddy needs, you give it to him. Simple teamwork. To keep things immersive and fun, I made a little mod list that supports Arma's realism and gunplay and atmosphere, but it keeps the modes simple. For atmosphere, there's a sound mod, and currently there's also a snowy cold battle vibe. Now for the modern weapons and gear, we have things like a UAR, Mark 47, SR25, Scar H, the Russian tactical gear mod, armbands, we got extra grenades, leaf suits, all that good stuff, right? For the loot system and vehicles, I'm running a combination of Zelix loot spawner and FM loot spawner. I also have some quality of life mods like Where Am I and Wire Cutters, and I use Zelix zones for the spawn areas. Ace Medical is in, so medics can revive you with an epi instead of you laying there mouth breathing for 20 minutes. And when all is said and done, like I said before, this results in a server that has everything a growing boy needs in a 4 GB package. All that's left now is you. Now I've ran organized sessions every Saturday at 9 PM CEST, and I've had people in from both Europe and the US because at that time frame, both sides can enjoy it at the same time. And keep in mind, this isn't the final version of the map or the mode, and when it's done, I'm confident I can keep it under 5 or 6 gigabytes, which means that you can choose. Do you want to lock yourself into a single 20 gigabyte environment for your servers? Or do you want to play 4 totally different experiences without re-downloading your entire console every time you want to try something new? Because imagine someone has the same mindset as me, but is really into Vietnam. And he does the same thing. 5 gigabytes for a Vietnam server? That sounds crispy. Now, all jokes aside, having a pack of 30 shirts with different colors is nice, but you can only wear one shirt into battle. 12 different versions of the same M4 makes sense on PC, but not everyone is on PC. Big mod packs are honestly only viable on PC. For console players, they just lock you into a monopoly of whoever you joined first, right? Because let's say your friend plays on server X, but you've always played server Y. One of you has to download for 7 hours now, probably sit in a queue for 1 more hour, and then maybe play for like 20 minutes before the game freezes and throws you back into the menu. So I urge you to check out my server. Even if it's just to see what's going on with the map or with the game mode. Would you rather be locked into having to use an iPhone charger? Or would you like to enjoy USB-C with no hassle in between? I think that's a pretty easy choice for me personally, but feel free to give feedback on this. Maybe I'm just crazy, right? Or maybe I'll see you this Saturday at 9 p.m. CEST for our Christmas event. Arma needs better servers, not bigger ones. My name is TJ. I hope you kinda enjoyed the video, at least a little bit. And I'll see you in the next one. Or I'll see you on Saturday.